Hello, welcome to the class of Principles of Scientific Management. My aim of making this video is to equip the students of class 12th with the knowledge and thorough understanding of principles of scientific management, so that they may be able to solve the problems of case study based problems being asked in the CBSE question paper. In the CBSE question paper, you will be given some case studies in which some problem is being faced by the manager, and how he is solving the problem may be shown, and you are required to find out the principle the management is following. And on the basis of such identification, you will be asked to ask some questions, some more questions also, and it is possible only if you are able to identify the if you are able to identify the principle of scientific management correctly. So in this video we will discuss about the principles of scientific management. First of all, we will start with the scientific management, meaning of scientific management and its history. Principles of scientific management were given by F.W. Taylor, who was a mechanical engineer, and while working in his organization he found that there were two classes in the factory, managerial class and the workers class, and both of the class were not trusting each other. They were blaming each other for low productivity and poor performance of the organization. So he analyzed the whole situation, and for the first time he found out that it was not only the fault of the workers for the lower productivity of the organization, but also the managers were equally responsible for the poor performance of the worker. For the first time he emphasized for improving the method of production, for establishing a proper sequence of work, and utilizing standardized tool for doing the work. So scientific management refers to the use of scientific methods in decision making to resolve management problems rather than depending on rule of thumb or trial and error method. First of all, Taylor told the managers that they should not use only their personal judgment or personal skill or past experience to take any decision. There should be a proper scientific method to arrive at any conclusion. For that purpose, you should clearly identify the problem, set out different alternatives, and choose the best alternative which is beneficial for the whole organization. There should be a scientific approach. Scientific approach means ki the managers are clear about the reason for choosing a particular alternative out of many alternatives, and they are able to predict the result of the chosen alternative. Then we say that it is a scientific decision. Scientific management is all about bringing efficiency and increasing the productivity of the workers. Main emphasis of scientific management is on improving the productivity of the workers by bringing efficiency in the whole production process, and that is possible only if we replace the rules of thumb with the scientific approach of decision making. Second is break up human activity into smaller parts. Third is find out how each activity can be done effectively in less time and with increased productivity, and elimination of unproductive movements in work. And finally, conducting business activities according to standardized tools, methods, and trained personnel. For the first time, he give emphasis to the standardization of tools and the methods of production and training of personnel. It is not so that the scientific management is only for the benefit of the organization, but it is beneficial for the workers and the managers both, because he talked about sharing the gains of increased productivity with the workers also. So now we will study the principles of scientific management. There are 4 principles of scientific management in syllabus of class 12th. First principle is science, not rule of thumb. Second is harmony, not discord. Third is cooperation, not individualism. And fourth one is development of each and every person to his fullest capacity. First principle is science, not rule of thumb. In this principle, Taylor advised that the managerial decisions should be scientific in place of rule of thumb. They should be clear about the reason behind the decision taken and the effects of the decision. Earlier, all the decisions taken by the management were based on their personal judgment. There was no logic behind the decision taken, and the chances of success and failure of the decision were equal. So, first of all, we should see what is rule of thumb. Rule of thumb means the practices or decisions which are based on estimates, personal judgment, experience, or following the past practices in attending to the problems that are confronted. कि अगर if in our day to day life, or if while taking any decision we face some problem, then we are using our own judgment, experience, or we are following the past practices being followed by being adopted by our previous managers. These decisions are based on trial and error approach. The manager cannot give the precise answers what may be the result of this decision taken, and these decisions are not strictly accurate also. The decision may go wrong also, and sometimes there is lot of wastage of resources also. For example, if we follow one decision and if it proves wrong in future, then we have to come back to the starting point and again try other alternative. So, it is not reliable every time for handling same type of situation in future also. They cannot be used as a guidelines for the future managers. While the modern scientific approach, in the modern scientific approach, the decisions are taken after thorough analysis of the problem, and after analyzing the problem, various alternatives are searched out, and the decision is taken after analyzing all the alternatives in terms of their cost and benefits. Logic behind the decision taken, whichever alternative we are choosing, we must be sure about the logic or the reason behind that decision, and what may be the effect also should be clear. And after following a particular alternative also, we should try to eliminate those activities which are unproductive in nature, and greater level of confidence in the decision is there. It becomes a guidelines for the future managers also. For example, if an organization is facing a problem of decreasing sales in a particular region, then a manager who is following the rule of thumb will say that let's give a gift to the customers, or let's launch a scratch card coupon scheme for the customers. Now, if he is asked what will be the effect of this decision, or what will be the cost of this decision, and how many customers may win the scratch card coupon, and how it will help to increase the sales, then he will say I don't know about the reason behind it, but because most of the companies are following the same thing, so we should also follow the same thing. Now, this decision is based on the personal judgment of the manager, and it may go wrong or correct. But another manager who is following the scientific approach for taking this decision will find out all the alternatives to increase the sales, whether it may be improving the quality of the goods, where it may be incurring extra expenditure on advertisement, or giving a sales promotion scheme, or giving incentives to the sales manager, etc. After listing all the alternatives, he will take the best alternatives out of them, and will be able to exactly tell the reason behind the alternative and the effect of this alternative on the sales, increased sales of the organization, and he will be confident about the success of such decision taken. So, Taylor suggested that this approach should be followed in every type of decision, so that the decisions may not be based on trial and error approach, and there may be low wastage of resources. Second rule is, second principle is harmony not discord. This principle is emphasized on improving the relationship among the managers and the workers. He told that managers are just a link between the owners and the workers in the growing size of organization, where the owners are different from the manager, and the manager work for the benefit of the owners, but they should work for the benefit of the workers also. They should trust each other, they should know the importance of each other, and every decision taken by the managers should be for the welfare of both the owners and the workers. There should not be any class one conflict in the managers and workers. There should be mental revolution both in managers and workers. Mental revolution means change in the attitude of the workers towards each other. They don't see themselves, they don't have any type of distrust among them, and the managers should share the gains of the company. This is the main point that shows that the scientific management is not for the benefit of only the managers but also for the workers, because if we are following the scientific management, it will certainly increase the productivity of the workers, and if the productivity is increased, sales will increase, higher profits will be there, and these higher profit, the increased profits also should be shared with the workers, so it will increase the earnings of the workers. There was another technique which was given by F.W. Taylor, that is differential wage rate system. In that system also the most efficient workers are paid at higher level. So it seems that scientific management is beneficial for the organization, for the owners, for the managers and the workers, and in this way for the whole organization. And workers also should work hard with full loyalty to maximize the output of the company. Next is cooperation, not individualism. This principle is also extension of the principle of harmony not discord, and according to this principle there should be complete cooperation between the labor and the management instead of individualism. Means these two classes should not be in competition with each other, but they should identify the importance of one group for the other. Management should welcome the constructive suggestions made by the employees. The managers should not consider the workers as a passive followers, but they should welcome their ideas also while taking any such decisions which may influence the workers directly. And if that suggestions proves to be successful, then they should take the credit, they should share the credit of the success of the idea with the workers. Workers should desist from going on strike and making unreasonable demands. If the workers are taken in confidence while taking any decisions, then workers also will not go for strikes and should not make unreasonable demand. This principle will help to improve the motivation of the worker, and they will work with the organization more honestly and sincerely. And there should be open communication system between them. The workers also should share, the workers also should be encouraged to share their grievances, their problems which they are facing while working in the organization, and the manager should try to resolve the problem. The manager should follow the team spirit, and there should be replacement of we instead of I. And last principle is development of each and every person to his or her greatest efficiency and prosperity. This principle also is also showing the fact that scientific management is not for the benefit of the workers only, it is for the benefit for the organization and workers both. Taylor suggested that the workers should be trained to their greatest efficiency so that it may be profitable for both the workers and the organization. The workers should be selected scientifically. They should not be selected on the basis of any recommendation, or there should not be any biasness while selecting the workers. The workers should be trained, should be selected according to the requirement of the work. The work should be assigned according to their physical, mental and intellectual capability of workers, and efficient employees would produce more and earn more. This will ensure their greatest efficiency and prosperity for both company and workers. It will increase the efficiency of the workers, and we can see if the efficiency of the workers, there will be increased productivity of the workers. Increased production will lead to increased sales, and increased sales will lead to increased earning of the worker. First of all, as you know that the efficient workers were suggested to give wages at higher rate. So if the workers are efficient, they will earn more in the first step itself, and if the organization earns profit, then also there will be share of higher profits with the workers. So it will increase not only the prosperity of the company but also of the workers. Now, after understanding all the principles of management, we go to the case study. First case study is Rahman, a production manager of a toy making company, always believed that the workers are lazy, shirker and do not accept their responsibilities, and always blamed them for low production. On the other hand, workers always believed that Rahman contributes nothing to production and is just an agent of the proprietor. So they always want to avoid the orders of Rahman, which lead to underproduction and eventually losses to the business, which resulted to the retrenchment of many of the workers, though there was high demand of the toys in the market and latest technique of the productions were used. So in the above case, which scientific principle should be followed by Rahman and the workers? And for giving answer to this question, we should study the case study very thoroughly, and while studying this case, we find out that there was lack of trust among the workers, and there was class conflict, and there was no harmony among the managers and the workers. So I think there is harmony, not discord principle is being followed. So next principle is dependent. Next question is also dependent upon the question, upon the first question. If you are identifying the first question, if you have solved the first question correctly, then only you can answer the second question also correctly. This question is what is the technique of scientific study that should be followed in this case, and the technique we have suggested in this principle was mental revolution. Mental revolution means change in the mind of the attitude of the workers and the managers both. Third is what will be the benefits of bringing a change to both workers and organization. It is a general answer. You can easily answer the benefits, that is increased productivity of the workers, improving efficiency of the organization, etc. And fourth is which other principle of management also should be followed to increase the productivity of the workers, which can give them better career opportunities also. So from the word better career opportunities and increasing the productivity of the worker is possible either by science, not rule of thumb, or by development of the workers to their greatest efficiency and capability. But the principle of science or not rule of thumb is not applying here, because there is no previous practice or personal judgment is being followed. They are talking about improving the productivity of the worker, and productivity of the worker will improve by following by giving them training and giving them work according to their mental, physical and intellectual capability. So, according to me, the answer for the fourth question is development of the workers to their fullest capacity. So, let's check the answers. First answer is harmony not discord. Second is mental revolution. Third is benefits to both the groups may increased output and higher profits and increased earnings to the workers. You can explain these points also if they are asked in your examination. And fourth answer is development of each and every person to his or her greatest efficiency and prosperity. Now case study 2 is Rekha, the production manager of an online marketing company, was not satisfied with the process of taking orders from the customers, processing the orders and delivering them to the customer, as it was taking 2 days to process an order, but she wanted to deliver the goods on the same day of the order. So she made a detailed study of the whole system and found out that the delivery centers are at a high distance from each other. So she suggested to contact the local shopkeepers and train them for packaging and delivering the goods in place of courier agencies. It will not only save the cost of transportation but also increase the service level of the customer. In the above case study, which scientific principle is being followed by Rekha? First of all, to answer this question, again you are required to study and analyze the problem given here, and in this problem you found out that Rekha is not following the past practices. She is not trying to follow the same method which other competitors are following. She analyzed the whole situation again from scratch and find out the alternative and is able to give answer ki why the alternative of choosing the local shopkeepers be taken. So first answer to the first question is science, not rule of thumb. Second question is what will be the benefits of bringing a change to the organization? Benefit of bringing the change in the organization may be again same: increase productivity of the workers, increase sale of the worker, increase level of customer satisfaction and increase profits, etc. And which other scientific principle of management also should be followed to increase the motivation level of workers? Here in this question they are asking to increase the motivation level of the workers, and as you know that motivation level will increase if there is cooperation among the workers and there is no individualism. The manager is not trying to take the credit of the whole success and not blaming only the workers for the failure. Then the motivation level of the workers will increase. So let's check the answer. First answer is science, not rule of thumb. Second is elimination of unproductive activities and increase in sales. And third answer is cooperation, not individualism. So now before concluding this lecture, I will tell you one thing, that sometimes students forget to put commas while stating a principle, and you see that in all the principle there is comma. Science, comma, not rule of thumb. Harmony, comma, not discord. So you should be very careful while writing this comma after the first word, because removing this comma will change the meaning of the whole principle and the marks may be deducted for this mistake. So thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe it. It will encourage me for making such videos in future also, and please like, share and comment so that I may improve them in future also. Thank you.